Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench with today's date. Now, if you're not a member or not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. If you are not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SM that's Smart Men Flying. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching us on YouTube. Wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box. And I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Now understand, sometimes I can't even get a word in myself, so be patient. And I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. By the way, you can only make these comments or ask questions during a live stream. So like I said earlier, these YouTube live streams are every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos and flying videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up. That's what we mean by like. And subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you will be notified whenever myself or Sparky comes on. And comments also help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And you can also use the super chat, which is located at the bottom of the chat box to make donations. You can only use the super chat donation feature during a live stream. So like I said earlier, every Monday and Friday night, right? Come on in and please make your donation and show your support. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. And with your memberships, you'll get special badges I can see in the YouTube chat box, so can Sparky. You also get unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. I'm in here only twice a week. If you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel. It's called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. Place a comment or question on the 2019 AMA National Championship video there. And that's the one that Sparky actually used his camera to videotape me flying his beautiful Junar XL. What an awesome flying plane that was, by the way. And when you do comment on my YouTube channel, I'll get notified, quickly, and I'll be able to respond in kind. So if you want to reach me, that's the best way to reach me. Unless you're on the Stunthangar Forum, you can also PM me also. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children and grandchildren. Without any further ado, I'm going to post a link at Stunthangar Forum, and that's how you get in here. So let me go there. Pardon me. All right, I just hit the post button. So the link is posted with today's date. That's November 26th. Come on in. And let me go to Sparky's YouTube channel and make sure everything's working there well. All right, looks like it's streaming. Need to make a little, all right, well, Marcel Legrand, evening, Charles and everyone. Well, thank you, Marcel. And Alexander III, haven't seen you in a while. Alexander III says, good evening, Charles, and all, greetings from Scotland. Thank you, Alexander. And then All Thumbs, good evening, everybody. Now, I think you're brand new, All Thumbs. Hey, thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining us this evening. Appreciate that. I need to edit this, just 1 second here. There's something got to fix. Just be a moment. Hope you guys had a good holiday. It's always a good holiday when I go flying. I went flying today. Hey, Bob.
Hi, Charles.
How are you this evening?
I'm pretty good. I'm taking a rest from building.
Wow. That's what are you building, by the way?
Well, mostly finishing up wings for all my other customers.
Oh, okay. All right.
I spent the whole day, the last 4 wings. So
fantastic. The last 4 wings. All right.
Yeah. It'll be kind of weird. Be retired.
Everybody else just weep because you're not gonna get another chance to get one of those wings, I don't think. So just weep. They'd be weeping and gnashing of teeth, I think.
Well, I had 53 years to get one, so
that's why they're gonna be like, damn, I should have got one when I had a chance. I went flying today. Actually, I'm still trimming out my SV11. I'm using a pusher prop, and
how do you like that?
I like it. It has tension up above 45 degrees.
When you turn that outside square portion of the square 8, when you turn that corner, you got tension there.
Yes, I haven't done that yet. I'm still getting it to turn the same way both ways. And I'm working on that. So I'm just but I'm so anxious. I can't wait till I get through this trimming part, where I can really start to really enjoy and actually work on me. Right now I'm working on the plane, but I'm looking forward to when that's done and I just work on Charles Carter, because I have my own quirks I got to fix.
Yeah, how about it? I'm going to trim out Charles.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And because at one time we did some coaching, I really appreciate that. That was awesome. And so I have some quirks I got to fix.
Yeah, it's not like the rest of us don't have any,
Oh, I understand. I know we're manipulating the plane moving at 55 miles an hour and we're turning around at the same time. Yes, it's not easy.
When you watch Andre's his tracings, of the various contests, you can get humble real fast. There are certain things that look pretty good, round stuff. When you get into the squares and the triangles and you start to realize just exactly how far off you really are,
Yes. The practice does not make perfect, it makes permanent. And as a matter of fact, when I was at the I think I was watching the video of you and I was like, wow, you was getting some coaching at the Nats. I think it was
Frank McMillan or somebody.
Yes, Frank McMillan. And I was like, wow, that's just like, Bob Hunt's getting some coaching, getting some tips, getting some.
I'll take coaching from anybody. I'll take coaching from a kid on the street. If you see something wrong, we can fix it. Let's do it. You know who was like that? Billy Warewich was like that. He would listen to everybody. And, he didn't always accept it, but he would listen to everybody.
Wow. Well, that is great. Yeah, you got to leave your ego at the door and go fly. And even if they say something that's, it's like, well, was someone seeing that? Maybe that might be something there. Hey, Gary, how are you doing?
Hi, Gary. Hi.
Fantastic. So we ate yesterday the turkey with all the melatonin, right? That's what makes people go to sleep. So I imagine
tryptophan. I think it's tryptophan, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah, it's something that makes you sleepy. Sure. So I just had some turkey too. I'm still eating some turkey. I had turkey twice today. So
well, remember, you are what you eat. So last night I was a Burger King,
Well, I'll just try not to be a jive turkey tonight.
Yeah, jive turkey.
So it's been, I'm really excited. I can't wait to get done with this SV11, but it's just, it's like I got other things in my life besides flying. I mean, if it was up to me, I'd go flying tomorrow, and I don't think that's going to happen. And I'd like to fly the next day too, but that's not going to happen either. So maybe I get out again Monday, I think, if the weather cooperates.
Think about what you want to accomplish and make a game plan or a flight plan, for what you want to do. So when you're not flying, you could still be thinking about it,
Right. Yes. Yeah. Right now, I'm just trying to get it to turn the same both ways. It's turning a lot quicker on outsides. And, well, shucks. Let me mute my phone real quick. So.
Did you check your elevator flap neutraling? That the elevators and flap, they're neutral.
Yeah, I did that twice, as a matter of fact. So they're coming to neutral at the same time.
Okay.
And
are the hinge gaps sealed?
yes. Yeah, it's getting better. I'm adjusting the push rod between the flap horn and the elevator horn, and that seems to be improving. I made a mistake in not realizing I'm flying a pusher prop. Hey, Mike. So I put a little down incidence that earlier I had a little hunting issue. And Steve Hines was talking to Dennis Adamissen, and Dennis Adamissen said, Charles must not have realized that you wouldn't put down incidence. You'd need to put a little up incidence. I had to mute your mic, Mike. You was making all kinds of noise. That's okay. I know we all make mistakes. we all do. Yeah, no worries. You're muted right now. We can't hear a word you're saying.
You can turn me back. I'm sorry. I was cleaning my camera off. I didn't know the microphone was up there somewhere. So I'm sure that paper towel was making a lot of noise. Sorry about that.
That's all right. I knew you were just cleaning the camera so you get a better look at you.
Yeah, no, Sam's been making YouTube videos on here. So he's been picking up the Chromebook, I'm sure, with his thumb right on the camera. So I couldn't see anything. It was all gnarly. But I gotta get out of here. I gotta turn the heater on and come back in like 10 minutes because it's freezing out here in the garage.
All
and
right.
I gotta go throw a few logs on the fire in the house. My wife is in there watching a movie. I gotta stoke the fireplace and get the shop warm. But Bob, I got a picture I think you might like to see that was you at the Nats some time ago that somebody shared on Facebook. So I've already got it pulled up. I'll share it later.
Here, probably.
Yeah, I think you do. You might have, well, you got a hat on, so I don't know what's under there. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
All right. Thanks,
Okay.
Mike. Yeah. So anyway, so I was going in the wrong direction, doing stuff wrong, which that's not too surprising. It's a brand new thing to have a pusher prop. I'm thinking tractor prop because that's what I've been flying for a long time now. So
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if you use a pusher prop, sometimes you have to put a little up thrust in.
Mm-hmm.
Also, check your controls to see if the lead outs are hitting anywhere in the wing. Is it a built-up wing or a foam wing?
Built-up wing.
All right, make sure that your lead out wires are not hitting any of the ribs.
Okay.
Because that'll cause an airplane to hunt faster than anything.
Okay. Well, once I added the incidents, the hunting went away, but then I had an asymmetrical as far as turning, and anyways, I know my error was probably giving it down incidents instead of up incidents, and
down thrust instead of up thrust.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. That's
thrust.
Down thrust.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. It's kind of like, when you, I don't know if you remember doing this or ever having an experience where you are, this is prior to the old days when you actually flew glow fuel and you wanted to adjust.
I don't remember back that far. Of course, I don't remember yesterday either, so.
Very good. But I had the experience when I was trying to adjust for the fuel fuel tank height. And of course, I would flip the plane over to adjust the fuel tank height. But when flipping the plane over, whatever I was thinking just got reversed or inverted, right? So I was going, what's wrong with it? Why isn't it, getting better? I kept increasing the shims and all that. And then I finally realized, oh,
Going the wrong way.
the wrong way. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so when I went to when
I have that problem. I have that problem with my batteries, trying to get the motor to run the same upright and inverted, moving the battery up and down.
yes, I know. What was it? Carl said something today along those lines, and I was like, "Oh, you're being really funny. I'm flying an electric." And he goes, "Oh, I forgot about that. Forgot what it was." But yeah, it's
That's
funny. It definitely is.
Did you order any batteries today from Thunder Power?
No, I'm looking at a dual charger. And I know I talked to you about that, and I meant to postpone that, but there are some good deals out there.
Yeah, it's 50 off today.
Yeah.
I think it's for the whole weekend, if I'm not mistaken, it's through the whole weekend.
I hope so.
It started, I think, on Wednesday. So,
Because I still want to give Will tomorrow a call and talk to him about that. Hey, Howard, how are you doing?
Doing all right.
All right.
Howdy, Howard.
Howdy.
You been doing any flying, Howard, in your stunt ranch?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, has the weather cleared so you can do some flying at your stunt ranch?
It's not bad today, but it's I didn't fly. It's gonna rain cats and dogs for the next week.
Well, don't step on a poodle.
Very good. Yeah, I was in the fifth grade once when I heard that joke.
Well, I never made it to the fifth grade, so.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah.
Oh, it's too funny.
Well, I was watching the Wendy videos.
Okay.
He's explaining all that stuff. My gosh, I never did all that I mean, there's millions of things that he's doing, that testing this out, testing that out.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to my cousins about the stuff I was doing, and he was like, we didn't have to do that stuff when we were kids. I go, I know we didn't have to do all that stuff, but it's a good reason to do it, is because we didn't know what we was doing. We just would basically just build a plane and fly it. And if it didn't fly good, I just thought the plane was no good. I would go build another one. I didn't know anything about bench trimming. I had no notion of bench trimming.
Yeah. Imagine how many airplanes that all of us built way back then, Howard, when we didn't have adjustable lead out or tip weight, adjustable tip weight or adjustable controls, that could have been good airplanes that were probably semi-bombs because they were just a little out of trim and we couldn't change them.
Well, there was the Tom Tom and Super Ringmaster, both of which I flew on 70-foot, 14,000 solid lines.
Wow.
They didn't fly very well.
And what did you use for power back for 70-foot lines?
Okay, 29.
Wow.
It didn't have enough power.
With a little gold prop nut on it?
The gold was the 35. I think the 29 is probably red. This the OK-29 was a device that converted methanol to noise. It had exhausts on both sides, and no power. Yeah, it was just awful. I know better now about some things. Golly, I should have a series of questions to ask Bob, since he's here almost by.
Me? You asking me?
Yes, and I can't think. With this G-force thing, what is it?
I don't know exactly how it works, but I know that it does work.
Is it?
It calibrates. Here's one thing I do know: when you put the G-force on, and whatever percentage you put it to, then every time you change the program for speed, any of the parameters, either the upper, the lower, or the set one, it has to recalibrate, or it does recalibrate. Then when you take off, every time you change something, when the G-force is on, it will recalibrate. And I guess that's to figure out what the level flight G is, and then I don't know. It probably does something with that number when you go overhead, but I don't know how it works. You'd have to ask Fred Underwood. He would probably know that.
Oh, yeah. He's one of my homies up here.
Yeah, I do know this much. At the Nationals, when we were having, everybody was having, overhead issues, as you well know. I turned that on, and they pretty much went away. It was, obviously you still had to be careful, but it had a lot more tension on top, on the vertical eights, the hourglass, top of the hourglass, and the overhead eights than it did without it. So I've just left it on. I never turned it off after the Nationals.
Groovy. Yeah, I read your account of that. I had an overhead 8 problem the other day. We were at a stunt contest in Las Vegas, and I attempted to do overhead 8s, and my airplane kind of stopped.
Tim just told me about that.
Yeah, Tim didn't have any trouble. He enjoyed it. So I'm getting kind of interested in overhead 8s. Oh, one interesting phenomenon I have. I trim my airplane to do just regular stunts down low. Then when I do overhead 8s, this is in just a reasonable wind, not when it's really windy. I noticed the airplane rolling in on both insides and outsides. Like I can see the top of the wing on insides and the bottom of the wing and outsides. It has some line tension, but this isn't right, So what do I do? Put in more wingtip weight for the overheads and then have it drop tips in that square 8. What do I do?
I don't know. I'd have to fly it to,
All right, come on out. I'll let you fly it, except it's raining.
Yeah, and I don't think
Okay,
I can make it
yes.
by the weekend.
Okay, my next question is, what's your kid up to?
He's downstairs right now. I don't know what he's doing. Probably listening to music.
Well, that's
he's
good.
he's still researching and figuring out what he wants to do. He's got that USA AMA that I built, and he's waiting for Dane Martin to send him some ion batteries for that, and we're getting that ready. So,
I got a couple the other day. Met Dane. He's pretty cool. They don't fit in my airplane.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering how those cells could be reconfigured to fit and keep cool. And
do you have them in a long stick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's better for cooling, isn't it?
I don't know. 3 of them and then another 3
together next to each other.
But they're all in a blanket, so I wouldn't see how air could get through there very well.
Yeah. That's the only concern I have, is I understand they run a little hotter.
Yeah. So you want to get cooling air to them. Is the cylinder conductive? If I take the plastic off, will I short it out?
I don't know. That would be a question for Dane.
Yeah, I could ask Dane. I could ask.
But I could see not sticking them, side by side where they're actually touching each other, putting some kind of a spacer in there to let air get through, between the cells. That might help a little bit.
Yeah, I'm wondering how to make a spacer. I'm wondering if ABS plastic is, whether it's too much heat for that. I could use Roacell, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm fixing to try lasering Roacell. I think this is something you're not supposed to hot wire it. I tried that; it doesn't work anyhow. But it gives off vile gases when it's hot. I heard.
Mm-hmm.
But I got
polyurethane foam does too. That gives off cyanide when you try to hot wire cut it.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to do that. So I got a got a good exhaust on my lasers. I'm going to try lasering some Roacell.
Would Bakelite, a thin Bakelite work?
Yeah. I don't have the technology to machine fancy shapes out of it though. It doesn't hot wire.
No, well, no, but we can machine it.
Yeah.
What
My
about
machine-
G10? G10 would probably melt.
What's G10?
It's that printed circuit board material.
Circuit board set. Oh yeah, that's an
Yeah.
idea. I can laser that.
Yeah. Give that a try. See if that'll hold up.
I might.
Now the only problem with G10 is
Heavy.
it's not necessarily very light,
Not
But you could probably
necessarily.
but you could probably go to thinner sections, you know. So
Igor, did you hear the Igor take apart story?
no.
Well, I'll tell you my version of the Igor take apart story. This is not necessary. This is not necessarily what happened, but it's the more amusing form of the
It's
story.
a better story though, right?
I think so, yeah, but I don't know exactly the whole story. But I'm making some. This is like historical fiction. Okay,
Okay.
Igor was going to he wasn't going to go to the World Champs in Australia, but at the last minute, he got some kind of funding to go.
I remember that.
So he had to make a take apart airplane. Well, how am I going to make this take apart stuff? Well, you can order circuit boards and they will cut them into whatever shape you want. You just get a drawing, you cut these weird shaped pieces of circuit board come back with or without circuitry on it. So I think that's what he did. He used circuit board material because he could get it machined quickly into arbitrary shapes for his take apart stuff. So, but it's heavy.
It is heavy.
So he did this, and then he got his batteries confiscated in Dubai or someplace, and didn't do that well at the World Champs. Well, he got second, which is not very well.
Yeah.
I think that.
Yeah, he didn't do real well with that second.
Yeah, second. It's not real well for Igor. He did get second, didn't he? I
I
forget.
think he did, yeah. Well, that's when Orestes won, right?
That's when Orestes won.
Yeah. Huh. Well, anyway, that G10, in a thin section, might be something you could make a little girdle out of that these things could fit into and get air between them.
Yeah.
I think I haven't messed with them yet. I'm still on lipos, but I'm going to try the Li-ions. And Will tomorrow is going to be making up packs for some of us here on the East Coast. And I'll get him to, we'll talk about it and look at the configuration of the batteries, and I'll make up a little drawing, and maybe I'll get it. I got a guy that has a 2-axis CNC. We can get this stuff. That's how I get my motor mounts done. Get him to machine up some of these little girdles with some holes in them out of maybe 62 thousandths stuff, and
Oh yeah. You got it all figured out already. I'm glad I asked you this question.
yeah. Well, we'll work on that together. We'll see what we come up with.
Yeah, well, I got this special case. I want my existing airplane is tail heavy, so I want to see how can I cram as many of these cells as far forward as possible,
Yeah.
and then also have them fit, and then have them get enough cooling. So those are my constraints.
Well, I was talking to, I think it was Paul or somebody had said they were talking to Paul. They said they ran 15 degrees warmer nominally than an equivalent lipo pack.
Yeah, that's
But maybe that's their normal operating temperature too, I mean, somebody said
Well,
they're supposed to
could
get up
be.
to 800 flights on those things per pack. That sounds amazing.
yeah.
I'll believe that when I see it.
I know people who make full-scale airplanes with these things. There's this company in California who
Does Mike's garage look any warmer?
Mike's garage.
Yeah, does it look any warmer? He said he had to leave until it got warmer.
Mike who?
Lonke, that's his garage there.
Oh, I see. Well, the door is down.
Yeah, he should be back shortly.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe his wife had a question for him.
I
Or
see a
his
can
daughter,
of
or his
propane
son.
there. I don't see any fire.
Yeah, and he was doing a log on the fireplace, and he was going to turn the heat on the garage, I thought. So
Yeah.
he'll be back. Let me catch up on the chat box. Mel Rogers,
Okay.
who was in here last week, he says, "Good evening."
Good evening, Mel.
Good evening, Mel. And then Dennis. Dennis, I don't know what Dennis's last name is. It's not Adamison, but it's
Dennis
another.
who?
I don't know. He doesn't say, but he does ask a question. He says, "Does the Filarordi, I butchering that name, timer run plug and play, or does it have to be programmed to work?"
The timer?
Yeah.
Well, you have to program both the ESC and the timer, but you only program the ESC generally one time. And then every time you want to adjust your flight speed or your upper number or your lower number, where it accelerates to or where it breaks down to, you got to adjust that as you test fly and figure out what you want, keep some notes.
So the Filarordi, you have what adjustments do you have? I know you mentioned the gain. I mean the G-force. What else do you have on the?
Well, the Filarordi has a thing called nose up, where anytime the nose goes up, whether coming from inverted up or upright to up, it gives you have a dialable burst you can put in there to give you a little extra, like in the wind and things. And then it has this G-force thing, which I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I just know that it does give you more vertical tension. Albeit at a tiny cost of accelerating the airplane when you're when you go doing a wing over, it'll accelerate up there, but by the time it shuts off, you're still going a little faster than you want to go coming down the far side. So you kind of have to mess with it to get the right amount of adjustment. So you're not speeding up coming down that leg, you kind of negates the advantage of it, So there's a lot of, you can adjust the upper number, where it'll go up to, and the lower number. And there's a lot of adjustments in it. It has a twin motor, and each motor is individually adjustable on all those parameters. And it has a retract function as well. And I think the Igor timer has the same thing.
I don't know about the retract, but has anybody used the Igor timer in a twin successfully?
I don't know if Rick has or not. I know he's flying a few now. I don't know if he's tried a Igor timer or not.
Jimby had some difficulty.
Who did?
Uncle Jimby.
Yeah, well, that wasn't the timer that we tracked that down. We know what it is now. He was using Talon 35s.
Yeah.
They won't govern below nominally 10,000 RPM, where the Spin 33 from Jetty will. It'll govern all the way down into the 8,000 range. If you go to the Spin 33, it kind of takes care of that problem.
Spin 33, okay. You get them from Igor, or where do you get them?
I get them right from Esprit in Florida.
Oh, these are the old ones, right?
What's that?
Analogous to the Spin 66?
Yeah, the Spin 66 Pro. I had one of each. I had one of Igor's, and I had a Spin 66 Pro, and I put them, and I couldn't tell the difference between them.
But the 33, is that the Pro, or is that the thing analogous to the Igor?
Good question. I think it is a Pro, if I'm not mistaken. I guess the pro thing is about having telemetry capability for the RC guys.
I forget. Does it have a brake?
What's that?
Does it have a brake? Will it stop the prop, or does it keep spinning?
Well, you could. No, it has to. Yeah, there's a brake, and you can program it for a brake.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Hey, it must be warm now. He's back.
and my next question is there a motor for a twin that'll take a 6S battery?
Yes, but they're not the regular motors we use. It's a whole another generation of motors that we're not even up to now. I haven't been aware of that are designed for quadcopters, and they have a whole different range, much lower range of kV, which will go with the 6S battery.
Yeah. Who makes them?
You'd have to ask Rick Huff that.
Oh, Rick knows. Okay.
Yeah, he's got that twin. He has that Bel Air. He has those in there, and in his ME 262 or ME 110.
Okay. Which one is the one that's the greatest airplane there ever was?
What's that?
Which of those airplanes is the greatest stunt plane there ever was?
Well, I haven't flown both of them. I flew the Bel Air, and I tell you, it's incredible.
Yeah. That's
even Dave Fitzgerald loved it, and so did Derek Barry.
They know their stunt.
Yeah. Does that answer that gentleman's question, Charles?
Dennis, does that answer your question?
Oh,
Let
I'm
us
sorry.
know.
I forgot about that. What we need is just the control laws for the Fiorati. Ask
Rick?
no.
Fred?
No. I'm embarrassed. Your buddy, the double A, who knows everything.
Oh, Dean.
Dean, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Howard's still suffering from turkey coma, I think, maybe from yesterday.
Little turkey coma, little dementia.
Oh, don't say that.
Well,
Has anybody ever tried a Turducken?
Yes, I've done turducken.
How is it?
It's awesome, man. How do you not? I mean, it's turkey, duck, and chicken, man. It's the best, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one and the other, man. You know, it takes a while to cook. It's low and slow is the key for that one, because you got to get all the way to the chicken inside. You know, so low and slow.
Is there a model aviation analogy to the Turducken?
Well,
Yeah, the bislop.
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It's a little bit of everything.
Did everybody? I missed the first part. I was out. Everybody have a good Thanksgiving. Everybody enjoyed time with their families and all that.
Good here.
All right. Yep. Good. Good to hear. Good to hear.
I want to see that picture now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll share it. I was kind of waiting until there was more than just 6 of us here, but no, I'll show it, Bob. It was on the Pampa Facebook group today.
Uh-oh.
Let me see here. We'll get to the share.
Might be embarrassing.
Application. Let me see if this is it. All right. Hang on. You see that screen? Okay. You got it?
No, we got a leader in the 2021. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we are.
Yeah.
So I'll read it real quick. Yesterday was Thanksgiving, so no Throwback Thursday picture was posted. Today we have Flashback Friday. Bob Hunt readies his Bronze Dog Saturn, powered by an OPS 40 at the 1992 World Championships. Bob is one of the all-time greats in the sport, helping develop numerous technologies. Boy, was that foreshadowing back then. We use every day now. Piped engine, core foam wings, lost foam jigs, molded shells, electric power, and numerous how-to articles.
Wow, boy, my publicity agent is working overtime.
Look at the starting battery, guys.
I was just checking out
Yeah.
the battery, and I
Oh, yeah.
also remember that tachometer.
Look at the
We were at
look
a
at
world
the
championships, and
tag.
you can't carry a whole lot of stuff to a world championship. So we work on a minimal stuff there.
look at the pump with a car fuel filter on it. That's
Perfect.
awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That was Paul getting ready to launch one of my final flights in Czestochowa. Oh no, it was Rada Kravale in
Is that
Czechoslovakia.
Paul Walker?
That's Paul
Oh,
Walker.
yeah.
Yeah, that's Paul. Yeah, you can tell from behind. So, Bob, is that some of the infamous bronze paint that we've heard so much about on the show and talked
Yeah,
about?
well, actually, it's copper. It's not actually bronze, but
Copper.
but it is. That was the Bronze Dog Saturn, and I'm sure everybody here has heard that story.
So 8.
If not, I'll tell it one more time. But if
Yeah,
you
tell one more time. But that plane is a pretty.
That's almost 30 years ago. That's 29 years ago, Bob.
don't remind me.
How old were you in that? Well, it's 1992. That's 29 years ago. How old were you in that picture?
I was born in 47, so I don't know. Somebody do the math.
It's pretty old.
Yeah, that's technical. It's pretty old.
So, did the white pants come standard when you made the team? Was that part of the stunt team? You had to wear the white
Yeah,
pants?
that was part of, well, actually, yeah, we were supposed to wear our uniforms, and we were told that everybody was supposed to have white pants and whatever uniform shirt, and so
Wow.
it's pretty cool. You want to hear the Bronze Dog story? I'll tell it one more time.
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll tell the whole story. That whole thing started, my father was an automation engineer, and he got a job from U.S. Bronze Powders to package vials of the various color bronze metallic powders they make. And it was made in all different colors, purples and blues and greens and coppers and bronze and every color you can imagine. And he got cases of it. They sent him enough, so we could experiment with the various vials. And he gave me some one day, and he said, why don't you mix this with dope, and it might make a nice trim color. And I was pretty ambivalent about it, but I said, okay. So I mixed them up, and it mixed in the dope. And at that point, I had the very first Genesis in white. It was ready for trim. So I decided to do it in the copper with the red and black trim. And my father went away on a trip. And when he came back, I had the whole airplane painted, and I showed it to him, and he just fell in love with it. I was kind of like, again, ambivalent about it, but he loved it. So I said, okay, I'll just start making my airplanes with this trim scheme. So anyway, there must have been about 17 of them built and painted that way. Various coppers and some bronze, I guess, and dark metallic brown with red highlights, but always that brown tone. Well, all that time that I was doing that, my buddy Billy Werwich was on my case about it. He says, I don't want to see any more of this garbage. He says these earth tones are not colorful enough. I want to see some bright colors. And I knew it annoyed him, so I just kept doing it. and I even had one that was two-tone metallic brown and bronze with white. That was that Lark I had. So there must have been, again, about 17 of these things trimmed that way. And then one day we got our first golden retriever. We've had 3 golden retrievers. And I got the golden retriever, and I called him up. And I said, guess what, Billy? I even have a bronze dog. And he said, Bob, you've had a lot of bronze dogs. Click. Hung up the phone. It's a true story.
Oh, that's funny.
There's no recovery from that,
Yes. Oh, man.
You've had a lot of bronze dogs.
So did I tell you that Dennis said sure regarding the question? Did we answer that question? He said sure.
Dennis, if you ever want to get in touch with either Howard or myself, give us a call. We can, at the after party, I can give you my phone number if you want. You know. I
Dennis,
want
are
to give
you
it
a member of Stunthangar Forum?
probably on the thing. Yeah, you could send me a PM on the Stunthangar forum if you want to chat about it.
Me too, but I don't know anything.
There's a lot to it, but it's not hard to learn. Everybody said it was going to be real hard to learn. It really wasn't.
You don't have to have that spin ESC, right? You can use other ESCs.
Yeah, it'll run with other ESCs, but this particular one has a fairly fast governor in it and will govern to slightly lower RPMs than some of the others. So you don't have to run such high, flat pitch, high RPM props,
Hey, Mike.
Check out for a minute. I'm going to mute my mic because I'm going to be over here working on Sam's Segway. I got my $50 part to fix the scooter.
Oh, wow.
Another piece of pop metal, believe it or not. I don't know, but going to try to. Well, here was the original. That was the original, and he broke the cover that holds the steering unit. That's the replacement, but at least it did come with a new circuit board. So I'm going to attempt to fix this $500 toy. Crazy, right? $50 part on a $500 toy. Just blows me away that is $50. Just that little cover.
Wow.
But I guess that's where they make their money, on the backside, right? Parts.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So I'm gonna mute out, and but I'll be right here listening to you guys.
All right, cool. All right, so. Well, I was going to ask Mike if he'd be interested in a Rojet 76 engine and pipe for $400.
For how much?
400.
Yeah, I'm not a player at that price. No.
All right.
I'm a PA guy. I got all PAs, man. I don't know if I need to be throwing Rojets into the mix. And now that Howard's got me sold on electricery, and I spent $500 on batteries yesterday on the Thunder Power Black Friday sale. Now, albeit that's not all control line batteries. I bought 5 batteries for the Axioma, 5 6S batteries for the Axioma that's coming. But then I also bought like another 9 batteries for all the RC stuff that we have now, since we're making the switch to electric on the RC stuff. No more glow for RC. So, but it was good, $500. It would have been $1,000 because everything was 50% off. So I mean, I got $1,000 worth of batteries for $500.
Yeah,
now we're set on all the RC batteries that we need, and I've got the batteries I need for when the Axioma shows up. I'm getting the other stuff. I've got the Jetty box is ordered. I got to sit down and make my Igor order here and get the Spin 66 and the timer, but it's all coming together. I don't know. I might do this electric crap and never look back, man.
Here's something ironic. Rojet, Richard Oliver, is now building electric airplanes.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Wow, that's interesting.
For control line or for pylon?
Yeah, he's building an electric stunt airplane.
Wow, that's interesting.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. You might not know Dave Sabon, but Dave Sabon asked me if anyone is interested in a Rojet. It's his Rojet motor, lightly used, and I said, okay, you're the first IC guy besides Carl, so I just why I threw it out there.
Well,
And
say hello to Dave for me. He's a good friend.
And yeah, me too.
I don't talk to Dave very often, so not sure when that's going to happen. And if I remember,
Please say hi.
Okay. I don't see him either.
Dave's a pretty good flyer.
He walked me.
Now that I saw him. I saw Dave Sabon fly an awful lot. Yeah, and I agree. He's a good flyer.
Yeah, he beat me with a shark.
Really, I wonder which sharks. I saw 3 of them.
A McFarland shark, not a.
I saw somebody smack you with a mackerel too, but you know. This reminds me of this. I have this friend who said he went swimming with manatees and dolphins in Florida. Wow. So he's an aero engineer. So I just wondered what the Reynolds number of a dolphin is. So I'll show you what happened. So I asked Alexa.
Yes. Really? Oh, that's...
Alexa, what's the Reynolds number of a dolphin?
Here's something I found on the web. According to cyberlenica.org, the Reynolds numbers of whales, up to blue whales, 0.4 to 3 by 109, and dolphins, 0.21.75 by 108, are similar to those of ships/submarines, greater than 2 by 109.
Alexa, stop. The interesting thing about that was she knew the answer, but she couldn't read scientific notation. So that's why she said something by 109 instead of something times 10 to the 9th.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in this book, it doesn't list the Reynolds number for dolphins. I don't think I can find it in here. You know, there's a lot of references to.
You could calculate it.
Yeah.
But why?
I just asked that woman. I can't say her name because she'd participate in the conversation.
Can we do another test?
Sure.
Yeah.
Alexa. Alexa. Alexa.
She hears you.
Does she? Okay. That's funny. Somebody else can run your Alexa if they hear it. She hears it on a microphone. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's yeah, probably some DJ on a radio station could use that to order stuff from Amazon.
Well, yeah, that's what I was getting at. Alexa, send 26S batteries to Howard Rush from Thunder Power. Alexa, turn all Howard off. Alexa, Alexa, PayPal Mike Lonke $5,000 from Howard Rush's account. That's good
Remind
stuff.
me never to piss you off, Mike.
No, I'm just saying it's weird stuff. I mean, well, I don't want to get off topic out of stuff, but there are some weird ways where guys have used some of that stuff to like dupe people and hack people and get stuff from them. So that's why I thought of it, but we don't need to go there right now. We can talk about that in the after party. We'll bring it back to airplanes. But be careful, Howard. Be careful with that lady, that electronic lady you got.
Yeah, I am.
So did you say you flew, Charles? You fly a little bit?
I flew today. Actually, so did Carl. Carl met me at the flying field and put up some flights. It's a beautiful day. The forecast was really dicey. It talked about winds being 18 to 25 mile an hour winds. And I don't know what it got up to, but it was comfortable for Carl and I. We flew and we flew at a new locale And it was good. It was a beautiful day. And the other guys who bailed, they missed out.
Actually, the wind didn't come up until we started rolling up, getting ready to go home.
Yeah, so it was a beautiful day, and man, it was fabulous. So it was just Carl and I, and we had other guys who was planning on being there, but they saw the forecast, and it's a little bit of a drive for some people. So I understand you wouldn't want to waste gas to go, to a place where it's gonna be too windy. So I understand that, but
Yeah, like Muncie.
ooh. Yeah.
That I could explain that if you like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I thought I could explain it. I found on the web the one company, maybe I presume it's the only company that makes pen bladders. And they are in a town just west of where you live. What's the name of the town on the coast there? Estrella or something. It's not Escondido. It's
I live in Escondido, but the coast would be Encinitas.
Encinitas, that's it. That's where they make pen bladders.
Oh, really?
Really? Okay.
I send you over to the pen bladder company to get some pen bladders.
Hey.
Or maybe I'll go down there and get some pen bladders.
Howard, I think Bob Mears carries those on his eBay
Pen
store.
bladders? Actual pen bladders?
Yeah. He sells Nelson plugs. He sells the pipettes. I'm probably pipettes or pipettes, whatever, the little red ones. And he sells pacifiers. And I want to say I saw pen bladders on there at one time. So maybe just contact Bob Mears and see.
I'll look into that.
Yeah.
Is it Facebook or a web
No,
page?
eBay.
eBay. Okay.
eBay. I'll find his username on there and I'll give it to you to make it easy for you. Or I can look it up here at some point and just see.
Thank you.
So what are the pin bladders for? I'm at a loss.
They're old school bladders for combat planes, but they were originally ink pens had a bladder in them. That's why they're called a pen bladder. You would put this bladder in your ink pen, and when you filled your pen up, it would go into this bladder.
Okay, all right.
Like old school, not cartridge ink pens, but
Fountain pen.
Wow.
fountain pen. A real fountain pen used a bladder, a rubber bladder in them. And then somewhere, some combat guy figured out, hey, I can make a fuel tank out of this. So that's what they did.
Okay. So I knew it was for a pin. I was kind of at a loss. What did you want a pin bladder for? And
Yeah, that you inflate them like surgical tubing.
Like surgical tubing, yeah. Somebody sold them. I used to be able to buy them in Joe's Hobby Shop in Detroit in the late 70s and 80s because some hobby manufacturer had, repackaged them for combat guys. And, of course, they were
notified.
They were 75 cents a piece then in the late 70s when you bought, 2 in a pack versus buying them from the pen company where you got 10 probably for 40 cents back then. I don't know. I'm just saying somebody sold them and distributed them to hobby shops. You could go in a hobby shop and buy a pen bladder specifically for.
Well, maybe one hobby shop.
Well, my hobby shop anyway. The one Denny worked at. The one that Denny worked at. Joe's Hobby Shop in Detroit. Used to buy pen bladders in there.
Yeah, we got them at the Kentucky Pen Shop in Louisville.
Kentucky Pen Shop.
Kentucky Pen Shop, Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, okay. Well, now they're out there next to Charles.
Well, yeah, that's the source. So they'll have fresh ones, maybe.
Oh, what's the company name? Do you know, Howard?
I forget. The Pensec company, something like that.
Want me to check it out? Just email me the.
Oh, okay. I might. I'll send them a note. I got to find the sizes I want. send them samples and ask them if they.
Yeah, Charles, and when the guy says, hey, man, I got some boxes back here from the 1980s that I'll give you at a good discount, those are the ones that Howard wants, man, the 30-year-old ones.
Yeah, the ones that look like alligators.
Yeah, they're all wrinkled up. And
Yeah. No, I don't think I want to inflate those, especially not with ink.
Was that for like a half A combat plane or like a even a
They're-
bigger plane? Yeah.
The real deal.
I ran one on a Vampire with a McCoy 19. That was my first experience with using a bladder, was a pen bladder on a Vampire, which was a Riley Wooten design.
Yeah.
That was the foam wing that you sheeted with
Yeah.
white poster board. Remember the white poster board you used to get for your
I thought it came
projects
that
and stuff like that? That's the first bladder experience I ever had. And that's when I learned about needle valves and figured out that you can't use a stock needle valve on, you can't use a stock McCoy needle valve or a stock Fox needle valve on a bladder because they're too fat and they leak too bad.
Hi, Mel.
That's when I learned about Super Tiger needle valves and them being much better.
So
Yeah,
when did
that's
the baby pacifier take over from the pen bladders, or did they ever take over?
They did on the East Coast, I think.
Yeah, I think that was more mid 80s, maybe the pacifier thing.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's probably later.
Later, because I know the Spectrum kit actually came with a tennis ball molded compartment. They had a injection molded. It was two pieces that went together that was the size of a tennis ball, and that would go in the wing as your bladder. Because if you were using a baby pacifier, they filled up like a balloon. They were round.
Right.
They weren't long like a sausage. They were round. So some of the Spectrum was the only kit I remember that actually had a clamshell, injection molded that you would glue the two pieces together and have a nice ball in a kit.
Right.
I think Scarinzi was using snack pack.
Oh, probably that would work well. Yeah.
Yeah, the sausage cans. We used.
Now I use the legs stockings. Remember the legs?
That's
the
more
eggs?
sophisticated. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I use the pacifier in that in my voodoo.
Okay, that's.
Yeah, the legs egg.
Yes. Yeah.
Binkies. We used Binkies.
Binkies.
That was the brand of choice.
Thank you. Right.
And apparently some guys are still using pacifiers, and there's like a number out there where you can get like as close to an original pacifier as what they had. But I guess there's a wire in them now, which makes it a problem because you got to get rid of that wire if you want to crimp it down, if you want to close it off and put it on a fitting. So removing that wire makes it an issue. But there's a part number for Binky. There's a specific one where you can buy it and just rip off the part that goes, the guard that goes around the kid's mouth, and use that part of it.
Yeah, there was a guy who used to come in here all the time, Terry Forbes. Remember Terry Forbes?
I don't remember.
I think he was using pacifiers in his. He built those classic vintage combat planes, and I think he was still using those. If you're listening, Terry, you can chime in.
Yeah.
Speaking of Terry, we saw and pacifiers. We saw Terry Prather the other day.
Oh, like from Prather Fuel Line, the guy.
Prather Fuel Line and winders and Prather prop gauges and.
Bill Urban's here. Hi, Bill.
He
Wow.
he lives in Las Vegas and stopped by the contest.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I did see him.
Well, okay, I probably reported on this before. I can show you the picture. It's a guy who his voice sounds like the voice of Terry Prather, but he's an old man. Now I know Terry Prather. Terry Prather is 20 years old.
Yeah.
And
So are you, Howard.
This geezer who talks with Terry Prather's voice, I don't know, but yeah, shoot, we're sharing pictures. Let me find this picture.
Yeah, find this picture.
Oops.
I tell you what, that's one of the things I'm on the hunt for at RC swap meets is the Prather fuel line. I always try to buy his fuel line when I see it.
Yeah.
That's Terry. He still looks 20 years old.
That allegedly is Terry Prather. So there you are.
Yeah.
All right.
We had a nice visit though.
Well, you still look like when I first met you, Howard. To me, you still look like I met you at Union. You were at a combat contest at Union.
Yes, I was.
64, 65, someplace in there.
71.
71. I know, someplace in there.
Yeah, I remember seeing Terry there at the contest.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was, but I saw that face. Yeah, in the chat box, Brent Williams says, "Happy Black Friday, guys."
Happy Black Friday, Brent.
Thank
You got
you.
any handle deals? Ask him if he has handle deals.
Yeah, Brent, are you in on the Black Friday pricing? Is there a Black Friday price for your handles?
Half off on vortex generators, by the way.
What do you use to put your fuel in them lanes? Looks to me like you need a lot of pressure to put that fuel in there.
Yeah, a syringe, a 2-ounce
Medical syringe.
Yeah, there's 2-ounce syringes. It takes a couple of them.
Jim Lee has those for sale, I know.
Probably. You might even be able to get it to the drugstore. I saw one of the syringes used by a combat flyer for its design purpose, believe it or not.
Wow.
Namely, I saw Chuck Redner extract some goo from a guy's knee with one of those syringes.
Out of the field?
No, in a hospital.
Oh, okay.
I buy these Easy Glides on eBay, and when I buy 100 of them, I get them for like $1.25 a piece. They're less than $2 a piece. Well, if you try to buy one, Howard, they're $5. But if you buy in bulk from a medical supply company, and as long as it's got the lure tip on, like the tips don't come with it, right? It just has the lure, L-E-U-R, the lure N.
Yeah.
And then you buy the tip with the nipple on it. Melvin sells those. You get 10 of them for like $2 or whatever. But I was tired of paying $4 or $5 for one syringe, so I found a medical company to let you have 100 of them for a little over $1 a piece and less than $2.
Yeah, you can use those more than once.
Yeah. No, Howard, I haven't bought syringes in like 4 years, man. And I use 6 a year. And then I throw them out at the end of the season. And of course, I'm always taking care of the Detroit guys that need new syringes. I pass them out. I give them out as little gifts. Somebody needs a new syringe. I always make sure I got a few new ones in the flight box because Ronnie's bad at that. Ronnie's like, "Hey, Mike, you got any of them $1 syringes?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got you." So I give him a half a dozen. I pass them out, share them with the people. I don't sell them. I should, I guess. If they're getting $5 a piece for them, I should sell them at contests for $5 a piece. Or no, I should sell them for $7 because that's when you need one, right?
Yeah.
That's when the demand is high.
Yes.
Speaking of syringes, Howard, did you ever get some of those Monoject syringes that I told you about?
Yes, I did.
They work good, don't they?
Yes, they do. I used one as recently as yesterday.
Yeah.
Just
Hangout
squirt
50 is
some
about $20.
to squirt some of that Type Bond 3
Yep.
into a device that I was making to change the battery on a smoke detector that's way up the ceiling.
What? You finally worked on it?
Yeah, but then I gave up on that. Never mind. Yeah, it's a long story.
Mhm.
But I got a new battery, and as soon as tonight, I might change that battery.
Okay.
It chirps from time to time.
Oh, you need a new battery. Yeah, if it's chirping.
If anybody really wants a nice little syringe, monoject, I forgot the number on it, 602 or something like that. You can go online and look up monoject syringes, and they're great little glue guns.
That
And
the
they're
one that with the
cleanable.
twist on the end. The
This
curl?
this particular one.
Mhm,
Let
yeah.
me look at my Amazon history, and I'll get the part number.
Is it
Yeah.
this one, Bob?
I think it's a 402 or something.
Oh, it has a curl. Has a curve
No,
on
no,
it.
no,
it's
it's got
a curved end on it.
it's the one that Dennis used to put that blue goop in around your teeth.
Okay, all right. Well,
Uh,
they sell these at my local hobby shop for 50 cents a piece, and a CA applicator will go on the end. And I use these for doing hinges, for doing epoxy hinges. Now you got to do a little work, and maybe you got to JB weld the CA applicator on there and cut it back far enough so that the epoxy will flow. But still, you get a fine enough point, and you just mix up enough 30-minute that you can and go right in the hinge slot with a CA applicator.
Another thing you can do, Mike, is take a piece of brass tubing and squash it down so it's got like a duckbill on it. And
Yeah.
that'll fit into the slots even better. And you can
Oh, okay.
onto the nipple and just tape it or whatever, and it'll work.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea, because with
Good
the CA applicator, I do gotta move it, back and forth to get it in there. But if you did the brass tube with the duckbill, you could probably just one time, and then it's
You can fill it up. Yeah,
It's filling up.
great. Yeah.
That's a good
Okay.
tip, Bob. Thank you.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can share this. This is I got the official part number and stuff here.
All right.
Let me find that. Share. Okay. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Website URL. Maybe that's it. Oh, I can't do it. No, I don't know how to do it. But let me go get the part number.
All righty.
And it is monoject 307-2331 PK12 curved tip syringe. It says 12 cubic inches, but it's not. It's probably 12 cubic centimeters, 12 milliliters, yeah, with a curved tip.
That's the ticket.
They
12
work
of
great.
them for $10.80.
I get 50 for about $25.
And that's yeah, I'll leave that as an exercise to you determine whether that's a better deal or not. Oh, on the side of the syringe it says monoject 412.
Yeah, that's the one I think I have.
Yeah,
So
that sounds very familiar.
Might be an easier way to find it.
Let me say hi to Tryon. Thanks, Tryon, for coming in. And Bill, I saw you coming in earlier. Thank you, Bill, for coming in. Bill Irvin, thank you. And Brent Williams responded to our inquiry about the Black Friday price.
Yeah.
Says free 50, free just for you guys. ... Just kidding.
I'm not kidding about vortex generators. They're half price.
I'll take 2 more packages, Howard, if they're half price.
Oh, okay. What color?
I don't think these guys picked up on your
I know,
joke.
I understand the joke, but not everybody gets it.
Yeah.
There's a song that Billy Preston sang, nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
There's nothing.
Gotta have something.
Hey,
Nothing
Tryon,
ain't worth
how you doing,
nothing,
buddy?
but it's free.
Tryon, how's it going?
Good.
Did you have a good turkey day?
Oh yeah, I'm stuffed, man.
Excellent.
I am stuffed. Yeah. I want to do something today, but just I was too lazy. So I just put it on the side.
Any progress on your molds and
Oh, it's all polished, it's all sanded, and everything's redone. I kind of confirmed indirectly, you know, that my problem was my problem, and but everything's polished, sanded, and stuff like that. So right now I'm in a treating the surface mode, and after I do that, you know, just I'm gonna move on and start making some parts. I'm thinking of just doing the nose first, just that, because this kind of confirm everything that I've done, that it's correct or not. I don't want to do the back of the fuselage because it's a big part and I don't want to lose all that stuff. So the nose is relatively easy to make and it doesn't take much material. So it's not a loss.
Now the nose didn't stick last time, did it?
Yes,
It did stick?
it did stick.
Okay, I didn't remember that part sticking.
Yeah, it was still very hard to pull it off, and I'll be kind of stuck in there.
Okay, well, that'd be great. If it pulls, release is great.
Yeah, then because I know that for sure didn't work very well last time. So if it works good after that, you know, technically, I think I got the problem solved, and I can perhaps anticipate that the rest of the stuff may go normally.
Right, oh, absolutely. Hopefully that works
You say
out.
hello to Bill Irvin out there. Hi, Bill. Bill, you there?
I think he's locked up.
Bill's locked up.
Yeah, he's not moving.
He was moving a minute ago.
Yeah,
He was,
Yeah.
yeah, but he's going to get it. Oh, there's two Trions.
Really? I only see
I
one.
see two
Trion.
Trions.
Teacher.
Now one Trion and one Bill.
There's
Bill
Bill.
is sideways.
There he's back.
Let's see if we can.
He's standing on his ear though, Mike.
He's
Yeah.
standing on his ear, but he's
Yeah.
now he's frozen again.
Now he's locked up again. He's locked on his ear.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
mysterious.
I don't know what it is, Bill. You might need to get a better internet connection. Maybe move different place, move closer to your router or to your source if you can.
I have a mystery router in my house. Is that what it is? Netgear
what's that?
15. It has a really good signal. I can get it out in the shop and everything, but we don't know where it is. It came with the house. And its location is a mystery. It might be in an attic somewhere.
You're
To connect, do you need the password or you just actually just
Yeah.
you can connect to it?
I don't know the password.
Oh yeah, you got to find it and look at the label.
Yeah, that's my plan.
we just changed our router to in our house, and everything was much better after that.
To what?
I'm sorry.
You changed it to what?
The router. We changed the router to.
Oh,
Yeah,
To-
not yeah, to
Yeah.
something different.
yeah, I'm looking for suggestions for what a router is that
Yeah.
will cover the whole place.
Oh, you might need to get a repeater or what they call a there's another word for repeater, extender. That's
Like
what
a
Mike Lonke did that. He had to do that to his is that right, Mike? You had to put an
That's what I have in my garage.
I did, yeah. I was having, my Wi-Fi is all the way on the other side of the house in the office. And I had an extender and it worked kind of okay, but I had to I bought like a $30 extender, right? If you're going to use an extender, spend 60 or 80 bucks and get a real good one.
Oh,
And I put it right in the laundry room, which is behind this door. Now I don't have any issues at all. I got, 5 bars of Wi-Fi out here in the garage, and I don't experience any trouble whatsoever.
I have
any-
3 substandard.
The whole house outside, I can be at the mailbox and I still got Wi-Fi.
oh,
you
Yeah.
good.
know?
Good.
That's what I want.
So don't buy a $20 or $30 one thinking it's going to get the job done. Spend twice the money. You don't have to spend 150, but I'd spend 80 because they'll be all in a row. They'll go 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
Right.
They really will. Spend
Okay.
between 60 and 80 bucks and you'll be in the right.
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 Yeah, it just needs to match the speed at least of your router. If you have an AC 1900 router, then you want to get a extender that's equivalent to that. You wouldn't want to get a 300N extender with your AC 1900.
Especially the size of your house, Howard. like a $20 extender would work in an apartment, but it wouldn't work in your house carrying it
Yeah.
from your router to the
Yeah,
farthest
yeah.
of your.
Big Bill is
I
finally
found that
went-
out.
That's
Yeah.
where spending more money gets you better range and better stuff.
Hey, Bill, can you
Hi,
hear me?
Bill.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, Bob Hunt's been saying hi to you a couple
Yeah.
times. He wants to say hi.
Hi, Bob. I've heard you every time. I just couldn't respond. I'm working on building my technology. so
Did you used to fly a powwow?
I did. I flew a powwow. That was about 30 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. I've got a friend that I've been flying with for about 40 years, and he happened to find a kit, a Control Line Classic powwow kit, and he snatched it up because he knew I flew the powwow decades ago, and I went out to see him a couple weeks ago, and he gave me the kit.
Nice.
So yeah, that was pretty nice.
I think I remember the day you lost your powwow.
Yeah, I remember that day very clearly. That's a pretty good story.
Sorry to bring up a sore subject.
So no, yeah, it's been rebuilt, and it's still floating around here in southern Nevada, just not with me. I think I traded it for a couple of engines or something a long time ago.
And you lost that at VSC, didn't you? You crashed it at VSC?
Yeah, I sure did. It was a very windy second round, and that was my very first contest.
Wow.
And then having Bob Hunt judging, I knew exactly who he was at the time, and all of that added up to a skidding in on the canopy on the inverted portion of square 8. So it wasn't too bad.
You did it very smoothly.
I did it very smoothly. Yes, I did. Thanks. Yeah, I need to build another one.
Yeah.
That was a neat little plane.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
I meant to ask you this last time, Bill. The Cobra that I had launched for you. Now, what was that? A modified? What was it originally?
It was originally a Sig Magnum.
Okay.
So I just made it look like a Cobra, but it actually wasn't. It wasn't close to an actual Steve Woolley Cobra. It was just it was a very large 60 size, a 700 square inch Cobra. And I like the looks of it. And so I just, I kind of modified everything so that it looks like a Cobra.
Venomous, it said on it.
Yeah.
Oh, it said venomous?
It said venomous, yeah.
Venomous Cobra?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I don't remember that.
I had some letters in my letter stat, and it spelled out venomous, so I put that on the wing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another plane that I need to build a new one of.
You're breaking up, Bill. We didn't. It was a banjo kind of a
I'm
snap.
pretty happy my connect a lot better. Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, your internet's making you sound like a banjo player.
Oh, okay. All right. I can't.
You know what the least used phrase in the English language is?
No.
Has anyone seen the keys? Has anyone seen the keys to the banjo player's Porsche?
No, I haven't seen that.
That's the least used phrase in the English language. If you're a musician, that's funny.
I get it, Bob.
He went over my head.
Yeah.
Angel players don't make a lot of money.
They don't make a lot of money. You have to explain it. It's never as funny, you know.
I know. Well, at least you can tell jokes. I'm always telling the punchline first. My wife goes, "You're terrible at telling jokes."
Yeah.
I'll say the punchline. I forget the rest of the joke.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Gary.
He's in our club.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, did he move away? Or
No, he
club
had that
had-
accident. He had that accident.
oh, I thought you were talking about Bill. Oh,
No,
yeah.
Steve. He's mentioned Steve Woolley.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Had to
Oh.
race car crash.
Yeah.
All of his airplanes, by the way, were built in Billy Weirwood's basement and Billy's fixtures.
ah,
Oh, he was. Okay.
The Argus was built in Billy Weirwood's basement, and I think the Cobra was too.
Hey, Paul, and hey, Dennis. Thanks for coming in.
Redbeard. Hi.
Evening, guys. How you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah.
And Marcel Legrand says, "Hey, Bob, we would love to hear you play something."
We tried it one night. It doesn't work.
Okay.
It gets all distorted.
Okay.
We tried it. Remember with what's the thing? I forgot his name now. Rusty. We tried it with Rusty.
Mm.
Is that live or are you trying to play a video?
Yeah, we tried to play it live and it just broke up because there's a delay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I thought about that in the beginning when you come on. Got to play as a tune.
I only know 2 songs and I always do one of them first.
I got that.
Bob.
Wrong audience.
If we're telling really bad jokes, hey Bob, I know between me and my brother, we know everything about the history of Control Line ever. Ask me any question.
That's when your brother knows. I know. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Very
But knowing
Numble.
2 songs reminds me of a story. But that back to model airplanes.
Yeah, back to model airplane.
Yeah.
I'll tell it later.
all righty.
So what's on the building board? Anybody's building anything? Nobody's building anything.
I'm trying to build a stunt plane.
How's your project going, Rush?
Not very well. I haven't messed with it for a while. I've been off flying stunt,
Mhm.
but I'm getting back to it now.
But no, that's fun. It's even better going offline. Heck,
Yeah.
that's what we're building for, right?
Hey, Paul, where are you living now?
We're outside of Tampa.
Oh, had some friends who were just there the other day. They liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not worried. I'm not sitting in the cold weather anymore.
It was a funny meme, right? It's like how to drive in a snow, and it says you put your snow tires on, and then you drive south, and then you fill up with gas, and then you drive south some more until it gets warm, and
Yeah.
and then when you get to the beach, you can stop, and that's why you drive in the snow.
Yeah. Yeah. You put the snow chains on, you start driving south.
Yeah.
Until people say, "What are those?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you said you're driving south, you're in Tampa Bay, and you don't
Yeah.
have no more snow. That one just immediately triggered in my head. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
funny.
So I'm going to be up. I'll be up Mike's way next week. I'm going to go pick up my planes. They've been in storage at my son's house, so I'm going to pick them up. And I've kind of taken a little bit of a hiatus, so I'm
Your
going to get
son's
back.
house. He's all grown up now, huh?
Yep. Ryan is. Yeah. 30 years old and living in Nashville,
30?
married. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Yep.
Whoa.
Yep. So
Yeah, time is not really going by that fast, is it?
It's not.
Nah.
it's flying. Yeah.
See,
Yep.
somebody said life is like a like you have a post with the stones tie up to a string. So in the first year, kind of goes around and then go faster and faster and faster and faster and faster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Kind of like an old control line flyer trying to fly speed. It's too slow. It just wraps around.
Yeah. I was watching some guys flying speed. I was like, it's my first experience when I was watching somebody flying speed. So they start the plane kind of goes kind of slow and stuff like that, and all of a sudden the motor kicks in, at which point it just disappears, right?
Yeah.
And I just hear the damn thing and I cannot see it anywhere. It's like, where did he go? Where did he go?
There's some famous video footage. I think that Doc Jackson took it. I'm not certain of that. Of Bill Wisniewski, and I forgot I think it was at the 68 World Championships, or maybe a little earlier, when he had the first tune pipe airplane, the Pink Lady it was called, and he struggled to get off the little dolly to get in the air, and you could see everybody laughing because the thing was following around. And then in one lap, everybody stopped laughing when it accelerated to, like 180 miles an hour or something, It was really amazing to see everybody's face when the thing accelerated.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that footage, Howard?
I have not, but yeah, that would
I'll see
be.
if I can find it and maybe we can show it on here because it's pretty funny footage.
That was one of the most dramatic steps in follow airplane performance.
Yeah, no, we'd never seen a tune pipe before until Wisniewski took one to the Worlds.
Yeah.
On the chat box, guys, Marcel Legrand says, do you have any videos? I imagine he's referring to you, Bob, as far as playing your guitar.
Of me playing? Or some on YouTube someplace, but I don't have any here handy now, no.
And then Mel Rogers says,
we never actually tried it. We can try it for a minute. I mean, we never actually tried it since Rusty. We never tried it on. Does that come through?
Yeah, really nice.
You got her up behind the wheel, your arms around your sweet one in your Oldsmobile, barreling down the boulevard, looking for the heart of a Saturday night. You got paid on Friday, your pockets are jacked, and you see the lights in town, and then you get all tuned as you're cruising with the six, looking for the heart of a Saturday night. That's enough of that.
Thank you very much.
That's
Ah,
good.
that was good.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bob.
Free bird. Free bird. I want to hear some free birds.
Excellent.
We can do a sing along. Can we do sing alongs on this or not?
I don't think that's
Try
Let me mute my microphone first.
Yeah, that's probably how to do it.
Oh, that's funny, Dennis. That's too funny, Denny.
Everybody knows this one.
catch a freight train down at the station. I don't care where it goes. Gonna climb a mountain, the highest mountain, Lord. Gonna jump off, and ain't nobody gonna know. Now, can't you see? Come on, guys. Can't you
I'm
see?
sorry.
Can't you
No.
see? If you're not gonna sing along, heck with it.
I'm sorry, Bob. I don't know the song. If I knew it, I would be singing
You
louder than
don't know
anybody
that
here.
song? Come on, Marshall Tucker. Come on, everybody knows that song.
I was joining in. I don't know. Is my mic muted? I was getting
No, we
there.
couldn't hear you. All we could hear is Bob Hunt. Everybody was just like quiet.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was locked on him because he was playing.
Yeah.
Can't you see?
Can't you see?
Yeah.
With that one,
Oh, what that woman been doing to me.
ain't that the truth?
Anyways, on the chat box, Marcel Legrand says, thanks, Bob. That was great. And then Mel Rogers said, Marshall Tucker, can't you see my fave? So that's awesome.
You ever hear Hank Williams Jr. do that? He does a great version of it. Really good version of it.
Bob, you like Hank Jr.?
What's that?
You like Hank Jr.?
Yeah, sure.
You should see Hank. You
Tradition.
should see Hank the Third. So Hank the Third's, he's like 30 years old now. But I've seen
Holly Williams. She's really good too.
Oh yeah.
I've seen Hank the Third at a couple of shows in Nashville at small clubs, and he does like a 45-minute set of country music. Then he comes out and does like this crazy heavy metal set. It's weird because it's just him and a drummer. It's him on his guitar and a drummer just power chording, doing crazy heavy metal. But the first 45 minutes is him in a cowboy hat and cowboy boots doing his thing, tribute, his dad and grandpa. But then he goes through this whole heavy metal thing. It's very strange.
Did you see that country music thing by Ken Burns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
There was a 16-hour documentary. It was 8 2-hour segments, and one of them was called The Hillbilly Shakespeare, which was all about Hank Williams, and it was pretty good.
Let me add to the.
Which says he knows every Hank Williams song ever written.
Great.
Well, there ain't many of them.
There's hundreds and hundreds of them.
Well, I know, but it's not hard to get through all of them. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like Harlan Howard says, it's 3/4 from the truth.
Well, Mel Rogers on the chat box, he said, Toy Caldwell's tune. He said, Toy Caldwell's tune. That's Mel Rogers. I don't know what he means by that. I thought maybe you might know.
Where'd Mel go? I thought he was in the show tonight.
He was, but he said, sorry, he had to bail in a hurry. I don't know why, but he had to bail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
did that come through okay?
It came through excellent on my side.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay. Because when we tried it with Rusty that one time, it just made a weird sound.
Yeah, we're on Zoom now, Bob. We're on Zoom. We're not
That's
on.
true. It's a different
Zoom
medium.
Pro. We're on the Zoom Pro.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Denny, Steve told me that I need to change the motor incidence up, not down like I had a tractor prop on, since I have a pusher prop. And
I've just been having an awful lot of luck adding up thrust to everything. And of course I fly pusher props on everything. And I really just started really getting into that this last year. I did it on a couple airplanes in the past without drawing the real hard connection, but then I just started doing it across the board. I've only found one airplane that did not respond positively to upthrust. So That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So
Yeah. Well, I
That's
look
it.
forward to-
Denny, the last time we talked on the telephone, you were telling me, and I probably like to, I think these people would like to hear about your experiences with the synthetic lines for stunt.
what, the Spectra?
Mhm.
Yeah, I did mention it here before and we've gone on about it a lot, but basically, as it turns out, it's the last time Wes and I were able to get out flying this year. I took out the old beater SV11. It's the one that was a prototype for the Brodak. And I flew it on my regular 018 cable. And then I flew it back to back with the 100-pound Power Pro Spectra lines, exactly the same stuff that was the combat guys are using. And I was absolutely shocked in the difference. There's absolutely no difference in like stretching or anything like that. But I was amazed at how smooth the lines were, how slippery they were. There's absolutely no line drag. And I
Drag
felt
through
like
the air or
my,
drag against each other?
yeah, I felt like my pattern was getting noticeably better because of that, because I'd been having a hard time doing a really good smooth round loop with the airplane of all things. And, you know, there was no such thing as making a little correction in the flight. And with the Spectra, there was nothing there. The other weird thing is that I found myself going deeper into all of my corners, really noticeable on the bottom corners, because I felt like I had control all the way in, bang it, and take it out. So later on, I've had this habit, even though this is a prototype for the ARF, I had built some outboard tip weight into it. And it's my usual habit is I would build some tip weight in and use the tip weight box for a final adjustment. And I took out all of the tip weight I could, plus added a slug to the inboard wing.
Wow.
So it was netted like 3/4 of an ounce out of the outboard tip. And that's what I had done at the field. And I thought it was pretty close. Well, when I got home, I actually went in, cut off the wing tip, dug out what I had before and stuff like that, and got it all back in and put it all back together. The airplane long way is saying is the airplane got about an ounce lighter because because of that. Problem I have now is that basically all of my airplanes have that exact same thing with the built-in tip weight and stuff. So I'm going to be doing a lot of surgery over the winter, just removing dead weight.
You remember
the long and short of it, I'm sorry.
Do you remember what you said when I asked you how you like the lines?
Not exactly. Just that probably something to the effect that.
You said all my steel lines are up for sale.
Well, that has happened. I've literally thrown out. I have kept a set of one set of 015 63s and a set of 018 65s. And I'm going to be doing some more back-to-backs, I think, next year on my good airplane and a couple of the classic size airplanes. But to me, the biggest thing, of course, the lines are a lot lighter, so the tip weight goes away, take out a lot. And but the real bonus is in how slippery they are. So all of my airplanes are going to end up getting a little bit lighter because of that, I'm sure, half ounce here, half ounce there. Pretty soon it adds up. The other thing is the 100-pound Spectra was supposed to be nominally the same size as 018 steel. That's why they specified it in combat, not because they needed the strength, but they did not want the Spectre guys to have a perceived advantage in speed. Well, it's actually nominally, it's like an 019 instead of an 018. And I was actually able to tell, very small sample size, just a couple of flights, but it looks like I was using just a tick more battery power, which would seem to support that. So basically based on my experience and some conversations with Mike Lonke, who's been using Spectre for combat for about 100 years, I have gone out and got the Power Pro makes a type of line called Max Quattro. It's a tighter weave on the line and nominally a little smaller, like the 80-pound test is like a 016. All right. So I've got 80-pound Spectre here. I'm going to be, and kind of ironic, I may have flown my last flights on the 100-pound line because I'm going to be switching to the 80-pound.
Yeah.
And I'll have no reason to use the 100-pound anymore.
Tom Luciano, who may or may not be listening in tonight, he went out and got some new stuff that's 13.5 thousandths in diameter, 100-pound test.
Mhm.
So
That's really interesting.
Well, to me, it's going to be, line sizes are going to be almost comparable to what you're used to using with solid lines, but I think there's still going to be the weight advantage there that, compared to the solids.
Absolutely.
So, and of course, they're going to be a lot easier to handle than the solid lines were. I mean, you've got your routine down for what, 30 years? You've been doing it that way anyway? Maybe more? Yeah, at least that. I mean, you know what you're doing with the solid lines, but basically you're going to be looking for something else to do if you switch over. So
two questions. Two questions. So like I said, I've been away for a while. So it sounds like the Spectre lines are now legal. We can use them at a contest.
January 1st.
Okay. And then how are they as far as rolling them back up on the rail? I mean, I could just, it's hard enough just rolling up, when you have a bird nest on a fishing line, trying to roll that stuff back up.
It can't be any harder than solids, that's for sure.
No,
it is, or
I've been rolling it for a year. I've been using the Spectre off and on for a year, and it's fine for putting back on the reel.
Here's how you roll Spectre lines, right here. You take your line reel, and you go like this.
Yeah, you don't even have to give a damn. Exactly.
Yeah. You roll it up like you're rolling up kite string.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You don't have to do this anymore. Now, when it comes off, it's going to have, some twists in it, but you're not going to hurt this stuff. Literally, you take it like you're rolling up kite string. That's how I roll all my lines. Just like that on my combat planes. And then they go on the wing with a rubber band. I make a set of lines for every plane that I have.
Yeah, that's how I roll my solids up too. Yeah, right.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Paul, I think the short answer to what you're saying is that steel lines have, they can be kinked. You have to, make sure that you, I noticed even the 018s, I didn't like rolling them up on the 4-inch reel. I got a 5-inch reel, and frankly, I wish I'd had a 6-inch reel because they were very stiff. And the Spectre lines they're very, very limp by comparison. They won't kink. If you fly alone with a stooge or something, you drag your lines across the ground and it's no big deal. All right.
Oh, that's right.
So I don't know. There's, it's like, it can't all be all plus. I'm sure that there's a negative someplace, but I haven't found it yet. So there's
the ends look like crap.
Yeah, well, and Paul needs to know something else too. It's not just that Spectre lines are legal. Any line is legal. Any termination is legal. Now we're focused on Spectre lines because that's what everybody's kind of going to because they've been used in the combat world. But when the proposal got passed and becomes effective January 1, it removes the requirement for material and termination requirements. You can use whatever you want to make your lines, and you can terminate them any way you want as long as it passes the 10G pull test.
Yeah, the 10G pull test. Yeah.
Right. So, but the reason we're talking about Spectre is because that was kind of the jump everyone made because they've been being used in combat. So that's why we're talking about Spectre. There's probably other materials out there, like Bob just said. Tom Luciano just found some stuff. So there may be other stuff that jumps in here that could be even better than Spectre.
So
I think what's
just like you tie on a fishing rig or something, the same like a fisherman's knot.
Yeah, do some research online. The braided lines are all known for being very slippery, but there's quite a few knots actually you can tie. You can go on YouTube and find a half a dozen Palomar knot, a uni knot come right to the top, usually all the top.
But I use.
All right, and then Mike
Mike does a good
Stinson.
Mike does a good demo with a piece of rope on how to do it.
Yeah, Mike Stinson did a video on specifically on how to tie the open loop lines exactly the way the combat guys are using it. They tie
Mike
a loop.
Lonky does too.
Yeah, Mike.
Bob, you're not funny.
I will pick on, we're
Yeah.
not going to pick on Mike tonight, but it's really simple to
We're not
tie.
going
And
to see it again
it-
tonight. I want to see it. I want to watch it again.
yeah.
I do uni nuts on all my fishing rods, so.
You're all over it then. Have you been using braids?
Yeah, I mean, for my saltwater stuff, yeah. So I do uni nuts all day long.
Then you are ahead of the game, because my biggest problem right now is just getting into the habit, the methodology, tying them the same way. And I'm tying them now, the loops like Mike Stinson showed. And sometimes loops are kind of big, and sometimes they're kind of not neat and small and everything like that. So it's just a matter of developing consistent methods and stuff, which was something like, when you did an AMA wrap on steel cables, the first one looked like hell. Probably for me, the 30th looked like hell. I'm just finally getting that under control, but I'm all set to bail out of it now. So
Could we use one of the Jerry Phelps line wrapping tools and adapt it to this?
I heard about it. I never had one. He had some neat pictures.
Yeah.
But Bob, back to that other thing. I made a comment when I was out at Las Vegas, and I made a comment to a couple of guys that, my last round flight, I told a couple of people, well, this is going to be the last flight I ever fly on steel lines. And the lines I flew in Las Vegas they went out with the last recycle load. I got the reels. The reels are ready for some new line. So, and then what Mike was saying, what Mike Lonkey was saying about Spectre. Spectre is a brand name, a product made by Honeywell, and it was copyrighted. Is that the right patented? That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, trade. And then the European version was the same material. Is called Dyneema. Well, as I understand it, those patents have run out now. So now we're starting to see some other materials that have their own trade names. Cast King was using one. I can't remember the name of it. But there's a product there that's licensed in Japan, I think it is. So from that standpoint, we're going to be seeing stuff, and it's going to be maybe a little bit, it's going to sound like the Wild West out there, but I think it's just a question of going to product that you trust and stuff like that. If you go to the Power Pro product, you will not have any second thoughts. All right.
Right. Because it's US made product. It's
Exactly.
made in USA. That's the big thing.
And I've been doing, Paul, I'll bet is all over this. I've been going to some of I've been looking up reviews at the fishing tackle sites and on YouTube and stuff like that. There's a lot of different brands testing Power Pro against Suffix, Power Pro against Cast King, a bunch of product review kind of things. And it sounds like there's some differences in, for instance, in ratings. They all put out a 10-pound test line, but one guy's 10-pound test might be the same as somebody, it might test out at 15 or 20.
Yeah.
And the other guy, concentrated on making a good 10-pound line. It might be a little bit smaller, but it's, basically everybody, just about, I haven't heard of any that are testing light. Most of them are testing heavier than rated that I've seen. I've got a bunch of Suffix line here. And the reason I got that is because it had a really good reputation for being slippery. It's very smooth. It's actually an 8-strand braid. Very, very smooth product. And the first set of Spectre lines I ever made were 65-pound Suffix. And I put those on a Ringmaster just because if they were going to break something, I'd rather break the Ringmaster. You're right. Yeah. And pull tested them before we flew them with my flying buddy. And been flying first flight I went out, I did 3 sets of old time inside loops. All right. So I had 15 winds in the line, and I didn't lose any control on the airplane.
Right. That's what I was going to say, Denny. You're talking about slipperiness.
Yeah.
Go. Anyone who's a skeptic, go buy a set of Spectre lines, put them on a Ringmaster or something else, and go do 25 inside loops, and then
All right.
tell me what you think after you've done 25 inside loops with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
And
You
here's
still have control of the airplane.
Yeah, and I understand, Mike, that the combat flyers getting line entanglements and everything like that, and they still maintain control of their airplanes through the entanglements, even.
You betcha.
As opposed to, say, steel lines, they would have rather quickly got bound up somewhere. But
Right, and that's AMA combat events. It's not legal in FAI events.
Right.
Only AMA events.
I have a question for you guys. And the question is actually something that I like to do. I like to color code the terminations of my lines. Actually, I'm doing with shrink tubing, and I put like black and red on them. Red on a down line, black on a up line. That's just my kind of setup that I'm using right now. I know I cannot heat up the Spectre lines, like put some shrink tubing over them to, kind of achieve that. But is there a way to wrap them around, paint them, do?
There's two different ways. You can use a Sharpie, because a Sharpie ain't gonna hurt them. Get you a red Sharpie and just color the line, and get you a green Sharpie. Or buy a red line and a green line, or a yellow line and a black line, or a yellow line and a white line, or a red line and a white line.
That's exactly what I've done. I've got a set of my classic airplanes are going to be flying on 50-pound line, and I found a real pretty shade of blue and a pretty shade of orange. All right. So I'm going to have an orange line and a blue line. And I'm just going to have to remember what the hell, which is which. So, right. So, but I mean, the color coding, you can bake it in, or like he says, mark it with a Sharpie. Good to go.
I'll just say this. The two lines that show up best are the high vis yellow or white. Or white. They sell white Power Pro, and they sell high vis yellow, and then they got black, they got red, they got moss green, they got.
You can't miss those two.
Yeah, but if you got white or high vis yellow, you can do the Sharpie thing. You can just take a Sharpie and color the loop or color the end of the line. And the nice thing, it does fade. Spectre does fade over time. So even the yellow starts to lose the high vis yellow, and it does become lighter and white. But white will always stand out, whether it's summertime and the grass is green, or it's fall and you got brown leaves or brown grass. White is always going to stand out. The yellow is really good in the summertime against the green, but in the fall, if the yellow's faded and you got leaves on the ground or brown grass, the yellow can disappear a little bit.
Which one will impress the judges more?
They actually make some rainbow Spectra, Bob. It's crazy.
It doesn't do anything rainbow. Thank you very much.
Well, and I don't have any here. I used to have a couple of sets that Larry made for me, but they go in like 3-inch increments. They go from blue to yellow to red to white. And it was something about fishing. It was supposed to disappear in the water, and the fish couldn't see it, or something like that.
Wow.
But it was actually every 3 inches was a different color, and it had about 6 colors in it. And Larry just bought it because he was an old hippie and he thought it was cool. He's like, oh yeah, it was psychedelic line or whatever.
That's funny.
Yeah, you can get it in camo prints or anything else. And basically, all Spectra line is white. The colors are like a top coat, basically. Right. That's why it fades. They all, they evolve to white, if you will, over time.
Right. So I mean, try and that's the answer to your question is just use a Sharpie on it or buy 2 different colored lines. But I would recommend that one of the colors is white so you can see your lines. They really do stand out.
One of the reasons I've always liked the solids is that on a sunny day, they glint.
Yes.
It looks really cool.
It does look really cool. Yes. And I'm looking on Amazon, and
I got a
the
little
Max
bug out.
Quattro Pro, the 80-pound, 150 yards, is $32.94.
For how long? Sounds like
150 yards.
okay.
Forever.
Yeah.
All right, my
Buy
wife's
500 yards.
What was that, Mike?
Buy 500 yards.
Buy 500 yards? Okay.
Yeah.
I want to check into that stuff that Tom Luciano told me about. 13,500 100-pound test. And he says it's the same stuff. It's just a newer, product. That would be pretty interesting at 13,500.
Yeah. It's almost no drag in the air.
You could hurt
I have,
yourself.
I found 2 other brands besides the Max Quattro that advertise a small diameter, and I haven't explored or exploited those yet, but I've been looking at, there's a brand made in Kentucky called Fins. And they have a product they call 40G. That's their small diameter high test line. The one thing that's put me off from them is that the 40G line that they had in different weights, like the 80-pound line was nice and small, but some of the other ones, it didn't seem like there was a consistent linear ramp down on the size and stuff like that. So I was looking for a more consistent ramp up or ramp down. It wasn't there. There is a brand called J-Braid that has got a spectacular reputation, as near as I can tell, among the fishermen for being durable and slippery and everything like that. I haven't tried that yet. But even at, all of them, compared to what we are used to paying for steel cable and stuff like that, I think we're all going to be happy with price and durability. They're not going to wear out,
Yeah.
They'll get dirty, that's all.
Your old airplane first, though.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm gonna have to jet off here in just a minute, but I had one question I wanted to maybe put out to the group just to get some feedback. Like I said, I'm getting back into this. I got a Vector 40 that is a little bit of on the porky side. And when I say a little bit, it's probably about 5 ounces, and was thinking about converting it over to electric and putting maybe a 60 size equivalent electric motor in this thing. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
In a Vector 40?
2612, wouldn't it be good for that, Denny?
I don't know. It's the old thing, you can put a candle in a cow pie, but that don't make it a birthday cake. I don't know. I've just heard over the years so many stories about people had 50, 60 ounce Noblers and then put a monster motor and it flew like a dream, and no, it didn't. I don't know, Paul. The amount of effort it takes to convert an airplane, you could darn near build a Vector.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's possible to just reuse the wings and the tail and just make a new fuselage.
Yeah, if you can figure out where the weight is, what you just said is right on target.
That's
if it's
right.
the weight's in the finish,
yeah.
You can get rid of the finish and refinish it. That's good. If it's, if it was in a repair, that added weight in a fuselage or something, great. But boy, I don't know, Paul. It's just, I just threw out an airplane because it was one of those things that I finally got it through my head that by the time I had it fixed up, I'd have been better off literally starting from scratch. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, my thought was, to kind of get into the electric scene. And since I hadn't really, been in the circle in about 3 years, kind of use it as a, just a ground beater till I can kind of.
Are you an okay flyer? I mean, how will you fly okay?
I'm probably going to drop back down to intermediate. I was flying advanced.
All right, but you just fly the whole pattern, right? So then just get yourself an SV11 ARF from Brodak that's already made for electric and just call it a day.
Unfortunately, they have sold out. I think they still got a couple of electric Vectors, but the SV11s are gone. So
get a Vector,
don't you?
Yeah.
I can make a hell of a deal on a smoothie, but I don't know.
Paul?
Yeah, It's something to get acclimated again.
Yeah.
You know Wayne Smith, don't you?
Who?
Wayne Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll fix you up.
Yeah.
He's an electric guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he can get you going for sure.
Yeah.
Jim too. Yeah.
I think he's from that area, right?
Yeah.
Mike Waldron is who I'm going to be hanging out with, and I think he's all electric.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like-
Okay. Yeah. He's.
You're hanging out with Waldron?
Yeah.
Man, yeah, you're in good hands, man.
Yeah.
You're in good hands, Paul. Michael,
Hey,
take
Paul.
care.
Paul, any chance you're gonna make it to Brodak this year?
So when I heard that, I called Jimmy and I said, "Hey, guess what's happening next year?" And he said, "What?" And I said Brodax. I said, "Do you want to go?" And he wasn't. He's just about retired from Control Line, but he says, "If you're going, I'm going."
Yes.
So
Who was
I
that?
think I'm going to swim through Nashville, pick Ryan up, and then he's coming with Lou from Memphis, and we're that's the plan right now.
Ah, that sounds outstanding. That'll
Yep.
be great to see Jim again too. Oh, obviously you and Ryan, but yeah, seeing Jim, Joanne.
No,
Oh, Jim
I
Lynch.
think
Talk about Jim Lynch.
yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, I think
That'll be
Joanne.
cool.
Yeah, I think she's going to stay at home, and Lou's always wanted to go, so I think Lou's going to come up.
Yeah, the last one Jim Lynch was at was Paducah, the last Paducah contest with
Charlie.
Charlie Reeves. That's the last time I saw both of those guys. The
And Jim is quitting
finale of
Control
the
Line?
Paducah contest.
Yep. Yeah.
Jim is quitting Control Line?
Well, he had a fall. He took a fall and landed straight on his head, and he was trying to save the plane, and nobody could get out there and get it. So I think he lost one of his Aries, I think, or maybe the Geo. But he's been flying. He's still building every day, but he's him and his grandson are mostly flying RC. He's got some big scale stuff, and but we might get him back on the handle at Brodax.
I'll give him a call.
Yeah. Well, don't say anything. I don't know if he kind of put that out there. I just letting you guys know.
He's one of my favorite
Well,
people.
If you haven't found fuel by the time you come up, like I said, I can probably get you a couple gallons. I don't want to give up too much because it's my fuel for next season. But I did do a pretty big fuel order with Eric Taylor, big SIG order. So
Okay.
I can hook.
I didn't want to rob you. There was a guy that's in Osceola that it's right on 75, and he said he had a pallet of GMA fuel. So I'm like, hey, that's right up my alley. But then he told me that the fuel was he bought it in 2011, but he's had it in some kind of special container. And I said, well, I said, let me crack a can, and I said if it still smells sweet and I don't see any rust in the bottom of it, I'll get at least a couple of gallons from him. But I still may get a gallon of SIG from you if that stuff doesn't look right. But like I said, I don't want to take yours and Sammy stuff. I can.
No, I mean, Paul, I got 12 gallons. Okay. And we burn about 8 a year between me and Sam, between stunt and combat. And I got 12 and it's fresh. Eric Taylor and Eric, he bought a pallet, and I picked it up on my way home from the Nats this year. So it's just, it's fresh, brand new, sealed cases. It's 2021 fuel. So
okay.
I can let you have 2 at my price, what I paid for 'em. I'm not going to charge you what SIG charges for it now because we actually got a deal on it back then,
Oh, yeah. And then you got to pay the hazmat fee and all that garbage. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But,
okay. Hey, you're not going in the city between now and then, are you?
I never know when I'm going into the city. I go into the city from time to time, but
okay.
No. I'm not delivering fuel to Ryan's, man. I don't deliver, if that's what you're at.
No. He works down at your end of town.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted me to deliver. And the reason I said I'm not delivering is because I want you to come to my house and see my shop, man. You got to come here. You got to come here and pick up the fuel. Yeah, that's all. But
Plus, he wants to suck you into a half-a combat match.
yeah, we can fly half-a combat over there. Is Ryan working down in Franklin these days, or down here in Spring Hill, or
Yeah, he's down in Franklin.
where at?
Some IT company, I don't know.
Okay. Well, we should go. Well, I got his info. I'll hit him up and I'll go take him to lunch one day or something.
Okay, yeah, well, time I get up there, it's gonna be on the end of a 12-hour drive, so I'm gonna leave here early in the morning, and it's gonna be a straight shot there. So I'll give you a call when I'm coming in town. I still got
Okay, sounds good, Paul. Sounds good.
Yep.
All right, guys, let me interrupt. We're gonna end the stream, and
whoa, already?
Thanks, Steve, for coming in, and Stephen McBride, thank you for coming in, and Paul, and Lynn, thanks for coming in, Lynn Burrell. Anyways,
is Lynn here? I didn't even see him.
Yeah,
Mel Rogers had a clarification.
Crap, letting the Canadians in again.
Yeah, hang on a second, you guys. Let me finish this. So Mel Rogers had a correction. He said, Toy Caldwell wrote "Can't You See?" So he wrote that song.
Wow. I know that Marshall Tucker had the big hit with it.
Yeah, but I guess the songwriter was Toy Caldwell. Anyways, we've had 24 viewers and we have 22 likes. So if you're watching this replay, please continue to hit the like button. That helps the analytics of this channel. And we had a good show tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Tonight's Friday. As Brent Williams said, is Happy Black Friday. So hopefully you can buy some stuff if it's not too late. And then don't forget Cyber Monday, so we can get stocked up on our stuff we need for our hobby. And come back Monday evening and tell us what you did over the weekend. And let's have another good show next Monday. So until then, I bid everybody good night.
Don't forget half price on Vortex Generator.
Yes, half price on Howard Rush's Vortex generators. Fantastic.
Damn, does that mean he's gonna send me